I'm a fan now, I've got to say, of Jaime Munguía.
He's got a bright future ahead of him. Where does he go next?
Yeah, how much would you like?
Yeah, but Ryder looks like a mini bodybuilder.
But I think Munguia's got more skill.
It's Canelo, Benavidez, and Billy, Plant, Morel, Ryder, and Munguia's number 9.
WBO, he was number 2.
In the super middleweight division at the minute, I want to see some big fights happening there.
Benavidez is the number 1. But it'd be interesting to see who Ben Canelo picks for 2025. Okay, welcome back to BoxCast. Today we're going to be reviewing the recent fight between Jaime Munguía and John Ryder. It was a good fight, Simon. Jaime Munguía.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. Two
very good fighters. I
like
very
good
both
fighters.
I'm a fan now, I've got to say, of Jaime Munguía. I liked his way in the ring. I liked his way out the ring. He's good.
He's a really good boxer, Munguia. He's kind of gone under the radar a little bit. Mm-hmm. He's had like 40-something fights as well.
Well, his record now is 43-0 with 34 KOs. 79% KO record.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of them are going to be like small hall shows in Mexico, I think, aren't they?
Well, he's only 27, so obviously he started early and he's building up his resume a la Canelo style.
Yeah, there's not many 27-year-olds with 40 fights, is there?
Yeah.
He's lightning quick.
Yeah.
He throws a hell of a lot of punches. And I think that's what that's where John Ryder struggled, was just his speed.
It's its tempo. I think the numbers were like it was 484 punches or something by Jaime Munguía and 300 by Ryder. So 300 by Ryder is high because he doesn't normally throw that many. Normal sort of super middleweights don't throw that many punches. I mean, Canelo definitely don't do that many. So and he's got 484, and then
according to BoxRec, it was 52 average of 52 punches a round landed.
Yeah.
52 punches thrown and 16 punches landed per round. And John Ryder averaged 33 punches thrown and 9 landed, 34%. And there's a high work rate by both of them. I'm just going to start with John. He left everything in the ring, didn't he?
Yeah.
He left everything in the ring.
He did his best.
And I like that.
Got my scorecard, actually. I'll bring that up.
I like that, leaving everything in the ring. He just come up against a better, younger, fresher man, and
one's just getting to the sort of prime of his career, and one's
there's
at
no
the end,
disrespect in that. He got knocked down 4 times. He'd have gone all night, John Ryder.
Yeah.
He would have gone all night.
I think you're going to get damaged for no reason.
I
and
think
Munguia can punch.
He had to ring the bell, didn't he, to get the referee's attention to stop it?
Well, they basically, there's people who the neutrals were ringing it. Even Munguia's corner were telling him stop now, you know.
But he just carried on and on and on. And do you know what? He was in the fight, the whole fight, although he was knocked down 4 times, and Munguia, he was in the fight.
But Munguia started at some pace.
Yeah.
And I think Ryder normally is a little bit slower starting, getting into a fight.
He did it with... It's funny because Ryder seems to start...
He did it with Canelo.
Yeah, when he gets put on his backside.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'll have a go now.
Well, funny enough, that's what I've got. I've got the first round was 10-9, which he felt him up, but Munguia was obviously pushing the pace. Round 2, he caught him with that straight right, didn't he? With the right hand.
Yeah, I think that was just more of a flash knockdown than anything.
The 10-9 in the third as well to Munguia. Round 4 it was. Round 4 was actually, Ryder was starting to get on top, and then the short left, he walked into it because he was off balance, and that's what, it wasn't really a
that was off balance, and then the 4th knockdown was the bad one.
Fifth round, 10-9, and then actually I've got 2 rounds, round 6 and 7, both to John Ryder. So he did start getting into it. I think he started getting into the 4th, apart from the knockdown, just reversed it because obviously then the score goes. I think he would have won that round. 5th, Munguia then tried to get him out of there again, but then didn't quite work. 6th, Ryder sort of overtook it. Munguia started, but then he overtook it. 7th, I think Munguia had a breather because he'd realised, he had a huge amount of output.
Yeah, I think he had his output, but I think he was hurt as well a few times, Munguia.
He got caught.
He got caught a few times.
Which one was it? The 7th round or the 6th round where he caught him with like 4 right hooks in a row. And it was just like, wait a minute, he just keeps going on.
Ryder definitely did hurt him.
4 to 5, there was about right hooks. He started timing them, didn't he?
He was timing beautifully.
Yeah.
And I think, like say, Munguia's footwork and his punch speed is superb, but he can be timed.
Yeah. Well, by that point, I think that's when 6th, he just started getting it. 7th, he was timing him. Although I think Munguia took his foot off the gas a bit, but he was starting to time it and hit him quite a lot with a few variety of punches. And Ryder's a good puncher.
But they both like a scrap as well, don't they?
Well, that's what I was surprised by Munguia. I don't know about you, but it was like, I thought, because he looks a bit more fresh-faced and stuff, isn't it? But he didn't mind giving it a go and standing toe-to-toe. It's like, right, we'll throw the game plan out the window.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why he's an exciting fighter, and he's definitely...
But the maturity I liked is that when he went back to game plan, and then round 8 he went back to it, and then 9 he obviously put the pedal to the metal, so to say, and there was 2 knockdowns, and I think the last one it's a good time to stop. I don't think it should have continued, although Ryder probably would have.
Ryder would have.
The referee looked like he was going to let it go, even though everybody else in there was like, stop.
Ryder's
now.
one of
That's
them.
enough.
I don't think he's going to knock him out cold.
We should also say that's the first time he's actually properly. I mean, and he's been knocked out earlier, but that he was winning that fight, and I think he was on his. He was on his.
I mean,
feet,
Callum Smith couldn't put him down. Canelo put him down, but Ryder got back up. Like you say, he doesn't get knocked down
he's
a
been
lot.
Knocked down, but he doesn't like. It's more like a buzz rather than like. Oh,
he's got good powers of recovery.
He is the griller. He's a beast.
Yeah.
But like that one, you could see then. Yeah, he's got. I think it's as much the punch power. It was more the tempo.
The speed.
It's just his rate of work is ridiculous.
It's fantastic. And yeah, I really like.
And it's good work. It's not just like work throwing punches for the sake of it. He was quite tactical.
He picks his shots really well. Switching from body to head, hooks, jabs. Really, really good fighter. And like you say, still only a young lad.
468 punches thrown in 9 rounds. And 9 rounds was quite quick.
I mean, it's like
300. Even that's good output. 300 is a great
He's not
output.
up there with the Kawasaki's, like, but...
Nobody's off his... But I think if people work at his power punches and stuff, it's ridiculous. That's one of the highest. And 146 landed, which is it's just the work rate is
like I say, I enjoyed the fight. I like John Ryder anyway. I think he's quite...
like John Ryder.
It's a shame he's getting these fights at the back end of his career.
Yeah.
Because if you
I'm glad he's made a bit.
Yeah, if you look at his resume, he has got quite a good resume as well.
Yeah,
all right, he's got a lot of losses on there, but they've all been close losses.
Well, if you actually look at it, they're at the beginning.
Yeah.
And is like losses at the beginning, like there's about 3 of them which aren't really...
well, his last...
You don't know what it was.
Yeah, I mean, his last 3 losses...
3 are like to good fighters.
Callum Smith,
which
Canelo
is
Alvarez,
a bit of a defeat decision.
and Munguia.
And Canelo, right, is Canelo and Munguia, which is no... I don't think there's any shame in that. Canelo is Canelo.
Canelo at the time was pound for pound number 1.
Yeah. And he gave him a hell of a fight.
Oh, great fight.
He started slowly, as we said, but he gave him a hell of a fight.
But that's the thing with John Ryder, he's always going to be in the fight.
Yeah.
Always going to be in the fight.
I think that's what we said in our
And it was a great test for Munguia that, to me, passed with flying colours, and he can definitely...
Well, I think he's made a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely step up and
I deserve
move
to be
on.
here.
He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Where does he go next? Where does Ryder go next?
Into retirement, although I've seen rumours that they're going to give him like one last fight, isn't it, to go out on?
Well, he's made a few quid on the last couple of fights, so he could retire.
The problem is, it's what you left, because you're not going to go for world titles now. He's
not going to go for world titles. Is he going to drop down to British level? I think it'd be hard for him to get motivated. Although he was talking he wanted to fight Billy Joe Saunders again.
Yeah, but that's still a world level opponent. So that's a good fight.
Yeah, but Billy Joe Saunders has been out for 2 years?
Yeah.
So
Interesting fight though. The punch against working again, but
do you know who I'd love to see him fight? At super middleweight, Chris Eubank Jr.
That'd be a good call. I think that'd be an interesting fight.
I reckon Ryder would destroy him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big name, although Chris Eubank Jr. is a big name in the boxing world.
Yeah. It'd be a good payday.
Yeah, there you go, Ed. Make that fight. Munguia, on the other hand,
he's on the way up. He's still in the...
all roads meant to lead to Canelo, but I don't think he'll get Canelo.
Canelo has slightly different plans, I think, this year at least.
Canelo, I don't think Canelo want to touch him.
I don't think he wants either Benavidez or him.
But Munguia, Benavidez, get them two together to fight.
That'd be an interesting fight.
Or maybe someone like, for Munguia, a Caleb Plant next.
Yeah. Well, there's a few up-and-comers, isn't it? Obviously, there's the number one contender is probably Benavidez. I think Munguia, with that performance, has probably pushed himself to the number two.
The thing is now is, with the Saudis, Munguia, Benavidez, I say it might get forced by the Saudis, because that's what the Saudis seem to be doing, is forcing these fights.
They're calling it forcing, but it's more like, how much would you like?
Yeah. So you get forced,
coerced.
Yeah.
Coerced.
So, that could be one if the Saudi, because I think a few people would have watched that fight and Munguia has made some noise, so it can't go unnoticed. And Munguia Benavidez is a phenomenal fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal fight.
Yeah.
I think it is time for him to go for them, the big boys of the division now. He's had, like you say, over 40 fights.
He's won. Well, he's had Derevyanchenko, which was a good fight, close fight. I think pushed him a lot. I think he's learned a little bit that, because he's tightened up his defense a little bit. He's stuck more to his plan than just going, all out. Against Ryder, that's what I liked. He was quite. He had little bits like he's not afraid of going toe to toe.
No, he's not.
He trusts his chin. He trusts his power. He can take a punch, which I was quite pleasantly surprised, because Ryder did give him a good go.
And Ryder can bang.
And he can bang, yeah. And he's very, very strong. But he just wore him out with both his power and more his work rate. And I think a lot of people are going to get worn out, because he's relentless.
In a nice way.
Yeah,
who would you like to see him fight next?
I think he should do 2 fights, and I think Benavidez should do 2. If Canelo isn't going to be available this year, which doesn't look like it, I think both of them should fight one of the other contenders. Them Billy's, Plant, Morels, people like that. Pacheco's in that list, isn't he? There's a few others in the super middleweight, like the others who've got unbeaten records, because there's quite a lot of them with unbeaten records. I think Benavidez should make one fight of those, and Munguia should make one.
I mean, because a lot of people are saying Benavidez is... A lot of people are saying he's better than Canelo, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I know everyone wanted the Benavidez-Canelo fight.
We did as well. So,
but it's not happening. So I think Munguia Benavidez is I'd say let them have a fight each in the summer, and then a December showdown.
They have a showdown, yeah. I think one warm-up one. Because the problem is, if they fight and Canelo's not going to do this year, it's only one fight in the year. I think they need to keep at least busy. So at least 2 fights.
We should be promoters.
We'll be.
We should promote the fight. We're making the great fight. Let's do it.
We unfortunately haven't got quite as much money as the Saudis yet.
No. No, yeah, I think, like you say, Caleb Plant for Munguia.
Benavidez for Plant? He has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he beat him, didn't he? Yeah. So I think Munguia Plant is a good call, and Benavidez versus one of the others. That'd be cool, because Plant's obviously only been beaten by Benavidez and Canelo, isn't it? So he's only got 2 losses. So Munguia could add to that list.
He's a good fighter, Plant.
He's a very good fighter. He'd be a good test.
Yeah.
He's probably a little bit more of a step up than Ryder. So
the next level he is that next level, definitely. Definitely that next level.
So I think that would be a good call for Munguia, and then Benavidez, any of the others, whichever one.
That super middleweight division starting to become a little bit juicy now.
Well, I think it was a bit. Canelo took it out, and then it was a bit stopped, and then there was only really the Benavidez fight. But now I think it's good again because there's a few up and comers.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit juicy and interesting. And I think it is because you're getting the likes of Munguia fighting the likes of Ryder, but Benavidez fighting the likes of Plant and things like that. But they need to continue now. Keep fighting them top tens.
There looks like a few tasty fighters in the top tens of both. All right, some of them, like obviously rankings always be a little bit, like well, I don't know what they were smoking when they made them, but like some of them are like there's quite a few tasty fighters there. A lot of unbeaten fighters, a lot of up and coming ones. Even our man with 43 is really an up and coming Munguia.
It's weird to say that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
43 fights, but he's still up and coming.
Well, I've just seen when we're doing a little bit of this, we're looking at Canelo, and he's 19 years old, isn't it? And he's got 31 fights.
I know.
Look at 19-year-old. I think it was when he's fighting Miguel Cotto or somebody in this fight.
Absolutely bananas.
It's ridiculous. But I think it's good in honing the craft, isn't it? I think Munguia, you can see he's got better from his last fight.
Definitely.
Where he's been pushed. His defense was better against Ryder, even though Ryder could have. But I think that's more Ryder's skill than that much of a failing in Munguia's
so where
defense.
would you put Munguia in the super middleweight division? What ranking would you give him?
Of the ones I've seen, because I think it's Canelo is obviously the undisputed champion. Benavidez is number 2 for me because a bit more experience.
Yeah.
I think he's taken a few more tougher opponents. Munguia number 3.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And then I haven't seen all of them, to be fair. Billy would be there somewhere good because again he's similar, but I think Munguia's got more skill.
Yeah,
a bit more control. And Billy, maybe that was just the guy who's fighting because he did get caught quite a lot, but he just is relentless in going forward. He's the same. Just the work rate was ridiculous.
So Canelo's undisputed super middleweight, isn't he?
Yeah. But then there's like other people, Pacheco, Caleb Plant, Andrade and Derevchenko, Ryder are the older ones of that lot. That's a WBC, which is always a bit like thingy. There's a few good fighters in that list.
It's weird, because if you look at... I've just gone on Box Live, super middleweight rankings.
Yeah.
Obviously, they updated the 16th of January. It's Canelo, Benavidez, and Billy, Plant, Morel, Ryder, Bazanian, Shiskin, Pacheco, and Munguia is number 9.
Yeah, but that was before the fight.
Yeah, so that should switch around now.
That's the ring ranking, isn't it? And then I think Munguia's gone up now, isn't it? So in WBO, he was number 2.
WBO, yeah, he's not... Well,
he's the thingy holder.
Yeah, Canelo's number 1, obviously, in all of them. For the IBF, WBO, WBC.
The funny thing is he's not even in the list for the IBF. WBC, he's number 2, but they've got obviously, because there's Canelo's number 1, Benavidez is the other champion, isn't it?
The thing is after usually the IBF have ordered mandatories, and obviously we've seen in the last couple of days who Canelo's going to be fighting next, and it's not even a super middleweight he's fighting next. So is he going to vacate some belts? And
I think the problem with Canelo is too big, and then all of them want him in their rankings. So it's not like they're not going to say to him, take away, because I don't think he's too big.
This is where it annoys me, because I don't think it's fair to the other guys who've
had them stripped.
Yeah, or the guys who are working hard to get into their number 1 positions. Because what we've just seen is that Canelo is going to be fighting Charlo in April, and then our man Crawford in September. So it's not going to be Benavidez, which everyone wanted.
Well, the problem with is the money, isn't it? For Crawford, that's probably the biggest fight, and for Canelo, that'll make a load of money. I'm not sure it's like three divisions up for Crawford.
It's a fight you're still going to watch, though, isn't it?
Well, if you're being honest, we probably want to watch for that more than any of these.
Yeah, there you go. But I think everyone wanted the Benavidez Canelo fight. But what would be interesting is, I think if people might start saying Canelo's ducking Benavidez and Munguia, And I don't think no one's ever said that about Canelo before, have they?
Yeah, but he doesn't normally duck fights.
But is he getting to that age now where he can't deal with these little fast youngsters that are throwing 200-300 punches
Canelo's
around?
output isn't going up, it's going down, isn't it? He relies on his power walking people down and getting them.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody like these, if they've got a good chin, their punch output is ridiculous. And we've seen Bivol, that's what Bivol did to him. Like, Bivol's a bigger guy, so he could also take his punch, but he just basically outboxed them, isn't it? Just this work rate is ridiculous.
I'd be interesting to see Canelo's next fight on how he performs, because I think it's going to tell us a lot whether he is on the decline or he's still got it. I mean, Canelo's decline is still elite level, don't get me wrong.
He's still undisputed champion level.
But it'll give us an interest into, because let's be honest, he's got a lot of miles on the clock, Canelo.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot of miles. So even though he's
not that old, I think we looked at this last time and he's only 31, 32, but it's like 60 fights.
Yeah. Well, 60, a lot of miles.
60 wins, 62 fights, isn't it? I think it is. Or 64 fights.
And I reckon the likes of Benavidez and Munguia, I think they fancy the Canelo fight.
Well, I think Benavidez is probably in his prime. Munguia's getting into his prime, and Canelo's, I think, a little bit over the prime. Or, as good as he is. Obviously, you have that experience benefit, but I think physically and things, he's a bit over.
But interesting time in the super middleweight division. I think they need to make some good fights there now, and there's good fights to be made in the super middleweight division. There really is. So,
well, there wasn't that many because when we were looking before, there's only like Plant and the Benavidez coming up and stuff. But I think they've got to the place now, and then there's a few others. Then Billy's, Morels.
I think
Ryder's obviously on his way out.
The super middleweight division can be like the heavyweight division is now. Yes, you've got the one champion, but then belts are going to start getting fragmented soon to get yourselves in that position where you're going to be fighting for them.
Well, do you think Canelo's making his money before? Well, I don't understand the Charlo one so much.
Thing is what I'm finding quite strange is that the Saudis, I don't think, have approached Canelo for a fight, have they?
I think he gets quite a nut, but he's got a big, huge deal, hasn't he, for his promotion already?
I think
that's
this one,
for 2 or 3 fights, hasn't he?
Yeah, this one's going on. Well, apparently his next 2 fights are going on Amazon pay-per-view. But
I think they've paid.
If you, well, all I'm saying is the Saudis want that all these top fighters going over. Have they approached Canelo for any of these fights?
I wouldn't think so.
Which tells me why not.
Well, I think he already, like I said, I think he already makes serious dollar. He's the number one name in terms of pay packets. Other than the heavyweights might beat him with the Saudi pay packet.
If you're fighting Canelo, you're getting a massive pay packet. We know that.
Well, he's getting his big share. But the thing for me is he can have his 2 fights this year, fine. We want to see both of them anyway. Not so much a Charlo, but Crawford. Crawford, I think, is dangerous in anyone, but that's another video we'll do. When that is
definitely
fully coming along, we'll make another one on that. That's a very interesting fight. But after that, then, it would be good to see them. If Benavidez can keep busy, Munguia and the others in that super middleweight.
They've got to keep busy.
And then it'd be interesting to see that.
Yeah, they have got to keep busy now.
Depending on what happens, but I think Benavidez is the number one for that. But it'd be interesting to see who then Canelo picks for 2025.
If he picks anyone.
Yeah.
Could
or
retire.
He might just retire and
Could retire.
But Crawford fight does sound like a retirement. Last one for Crawford, last one for him.
Yeah. Could be. Really, really could be.
Especially if he gets beat.
Not even thinking about that yet. That is...
yeah.
I want to see his next fight and see how he is first. But yeah, I'm liking the super middleweight division at the minute. I want to see some big fights happening there.
Well, I think whatever happens with him, even if he steps out the limelight and leaves the others, there's an interesting bit there to see who goes for the belts,
really,
and then it'd be nice to get if they start picking them up, what fights they make to pick them up, and then they all go for undisputed. It'd be great then to have one of those Muhammad Ali Trophy tournaments with them.
Yeah, But yes,
if there's 4 belt holders and then they go for it. And I think there's some really, really good fights that could be made in that. Really, really interesting.
I want to see
fighters.
Munguia Benavidez. I think that's a great fight.
Well, I think that might be the last one in it. That's what I'm saying. The two left standing at the end, and I think that'll be really.
But yeah, Munguia. Going back to him, sorry, he's really gone up in my. I'm going to be a Munguia fan. Seems like a really nice fella as well.
Well, that's what I mean. It was both inside and outside
the ring.
Really good. He's really respectful to Ryder. Give him a good. He's like, yeah, my hand started hurting after the 4th round. I'm hitting him so much.
So no, he's
very respectful. He's very,
and he looks like a talent.
Yeah.
He really does look like a talent. Tall as well. Tall, rangy, but doesn't look thin at the waist either. Looks good, strong.
Yeah, I think he's come up in weight, hasn't he? So I think it didn't look like he was out of place.
No.
And Ryder's a super strong, is a beast. So,
Yeah, but Ryder looks like a mini bodybuilder.
Yeah. And he's really strong. But even in close up, he didn't look out of place. He took his punches really well.
Yeah.
Obviously, he can box. His speed is ridiculous. His output is ridiculous. Yeah. I think he's got everything there to be really, really good. I'm a bit more liking him than Benavidez, but obviously Benavidez has
I think what he needs to be careful of, Munguia, the one thing I did notice is his little breaks that he has during the rounds. And he tends to go and sit on the ropes a little bit.
Yeah.
He needs to, I think...
Oh, there's improvements that can be made.
Yeah, there is. Obviously, he needs a break because his punch output is... And he doesn't stop moving. He's around he's constant, like a wasp. And he's bzz. But yeah, just be careful.
And getting timed, because obviously Ryder timed him a little bit in those.
I think that's when he starts getting tired as well, isn't it? And then, so he just needs a little bit of work on that. And I think, but don't sit on the ropes when you want to break.
No, just move around.
Yeah. Because if he does that against Canelo, that's where Canelo wants people.
Yeah, that's where he'll just walk you down.
Yeah. So yeah, But
and then Benavidez is a machine as well. He's that punch out high, so you want to be there.
Yeah, I look forward to his next fight.
Well, I'll be watching his fights, I think.
Yeah. So he's a good man. He's a good fighter.
Yeah. And then even Ryder, but we'd like Ryder, isn't it? Whichever way. But if he retires,
good luck. I think you've done.
And if he has another fight, we'll probably watch. So
he left everything in the ring, so we can't be disappointed. Well, obviously, he's disappointed because he lost, but. He's gone off on his shield
against the better guy, younger, fresher guy, and I don't think there's any shame in that. Isn't it? You're not. He's really good. I think he had a couple of opportunities where he should. Like I said, the Smith fight, it was really close. Could have gone either way, depending on how you like it.
Yeah.
Against Canelo, obviously Canelo started. He went down. Then he sort of went toe to toe a bit with Canelo and stuff, and I think shocked Canelo in how. He's a tough fight, and he didn't get knocked out by him. And then it's only got knocked out by this guy who's young, fresh, but I think he's more tiring him out. And obviously he's getting to the end of the career. So yeah, no shame in that. I think just Munguia was better.
Yeah, plain and simple.
Cool. Anything else to add? Or?
Yeah, I'd just stop beating the British fighters.
Simon's got nobody left as a sport.
Ryder's gone. Who's next? Jeez.
I think they're just in divisions where there's some ridiculously good fighters. Light heavyweight is really good, and then super middleweight. Obviously, got Canelo and these
guys. The next
guys.
2 years of boxing could be in all divisions. Could be some of the best boxing that we've ever witnessed if the fights get made. I really think that. I think we could be in for a massive treat, and now the promoters are working together as well. I think. The next 2 years is really exciting. The thing's
shocked a few people into getting. They need to start making these. You can't just avoid them and do them because you've got your internal politics of whether it's the WBC.
Yeah, but I think also what it's doing is even if you're not involved with the Saudis now, the likes of it.
Well, I mean, they've kicked the other promoters.
They've got to go.
We know the Saudis are doing their job.
Right, okay, so
I'm going to say thank you for giving us things to make content about.
They're doing that fight. We've got to make an even bigger fight.
Yeah.
So it is pushing these promoters and the ESPN and Amazon and DAZN to go, right, well, we need big fights as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the big fights it's going to be really, really good. then they're going to get made.
We hope so. But also, you want them to be the proper champions. Like, all right, I can understand Canelo fighting the fights for the name and stuff. Crawford's now a huge name, and Canelo's a big name. But then you need to fight the people in your division as well. You know, put up the fight with Benavidez, Munguia, or whoever else in that. You know, who's coming up and want to do. There's a few people in it, so or step out the way.
Yeah,
whichever one you want to do. If you don't, then step out the way and then let them, you know, divide the belts, get new champions, so we can see all of those things. Because you've had a great career, you've made a killer. You know, you're the biggest name, so
yeah.
And it's starting to happen in other divisions where they're starting to kick them into it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is happening now, so don't slow down, keep it going. Keep the fights getting made.
Cool. Okay, like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. You know, of what we've said of the fight and upcoming. What would you like to see them? Who would you like to see them fight? Munguia fight. Do you think Ryder should retire, etc.? And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.